Master the circle, master yourself. Think about it. How often do you feel like your mind is caught in endless loops? The same worries, the same distractions, the same emotional patterns over and over. What if I told you that the key to breaking free from this cycle lies in something ancient, something hidden in plain sight? Mandalas. No, they're not just intricate patterns or aesthetic designs. They're maps to self-mastery, used by Buddhist monks for centuries to train the mind, unlock deep focus, and restore balance. And here's the crazy part. You don't need to be a monk to use them. You just need to understand their secrets. In this video, you're going to learn how mandalas can completely transform the way you think, feel, and navigate life. We'll break it down into 10 powerful lessons. The mandala as a reflection of the mind, why your thoughts are structured like a mandala, and how to reshape them. The power of symmetry for emotional balance, how balance in patterns leads to balance in emotions. Meditation with mandalas, focus and clarity of mind, a practical way to use mandalas to train your brain. Creating your own mandala, expression and self-discovery, what your own mandala reveals about your inner world. The cycle of impermanence, the lesson of sand mandalas, the Buddhist secret to letting go of what no longer serves you. Colors and symbolism, choosing the right mandala for your life, how colors influence your emotions and mindset. Mandalas in your environment, creating spaces of peace and positive energy. Where and how to use mandalas to shift the energy around you. Mandalas as tools for healing and self-care, how they help release stress, anxiety, and emotional blocks. The mandala as a spiritual journey, why the path of the mandala mirrors the journey to wisdom. The mandala and the middle path, the final lesson on balance, harmony, and mastering your own life. By the end of this video, you won't just understand mandalas, you'll know how to use them to bring focus, peace, and self-mastery into your life. So before we dive in, hit that like button if you're ready to unlock this ancient wisdom, and subscribe if you want more life-changing insights like these. Now let's begin. Lesson 1. The mandala as a reflection of the mind. Imagine your mind as a vast, intricate mandala, each pattern, color, and line representing your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. At a glance, it may seem harmonious, but upon closer inspection, you'll find chaos woven into its design. Distractions, anxieties, unresolved tensions, they all find a place within the circle. But here's the secret. Just like a mandala, your mind is something you can shape, refine, and master. Take a moment to think about your daily routine. Is it a conscious design or a jumbled mess of obligations and distractions? Most people don't realize that their thoughts, much like a mandala, follow repetitive loops. The same worries, the same reactions, the same limiting beliefs. Recognizing this is the first step, because once you see the pattern, you can start changing it. Ancient Buddhist monks used mandalas as a mirror for the mind. They would spend weeks meticulously crafting one from colored sand, only to destroy it upon completion. It wasn't just art, it was a practice in impermanence and mental clarity. They understood something most of us overlook. What you build in your mind determines what you build in your life. So how do you apply this? Start small. Observe your mental patterns. Notice what thoughts dominate your day. Are they constructive? Are they limiting? Take 5 minutes each morning to visualize a mandala forming in your mind, each layer representing a part of your life you want to bring into balance. By mastering your inner world, you begin to master the outer one. And speaking of balance, there's something profound hidden in the symmetry of mandalas, something that can change the way you deal with stress, emotions, and even decision-making. Lesson 2. Power of symmetry for emotional balance. There's something oddly satisfying about symmetry. Think about it. Why do we find perfectly balanced designs so mesmerizing? Why do we feel at peace when surrounded by harmony in nature, like the spirals of a seashell or the even petals of a flower? The answer lies deep within our psychology. Balance outside creates balance inside. Mandalas aren't just visually appealing. They're structured in a way that mirrors emotional stability. When life feels chaotic, when stress, anxiety, or frustration take over, it's often because something is out of alignment. Maybe your work-life balance is off, maybe you're holding on to emotions that no longer serve you, or maybe your mind is scattered, unable to focus. Here's where the mandala teaches its second lesson. Symmetry is a tool for restoration. Picture this: you're overwhelmed with emotions. Instead of spiraling, try this. Draw a simple mandala. It doesn't have to be perfect. Start with a central point, your focus, then add symmetrical patterns around it. The act of creating balance on paper triggers balance in your mind. It forces you to slow down, focus, and regain control. Even if you don't draw, simply observing a mandala in moments of stress can calm your nervous system. There's a reason why Tibetan monks use them in meditation. They retrain the brain to seek harmony rather than chaos. And here's the kicker: you can extend this idea beyond art. Start paying attention to the symmetry in your daily life. Are your priorities balanced? Are you giving equal energy to what truly matters? Try structuring your day like a mandala. Create a center, your main focus, then organize tasks symmetrically around it. The more balance you build into your life, the more resilient you become. But balance alone isn't enough. You also need clarity. And that's where the next lesson comes in. Lesson 3. Meditation with mandalas, focus and clarity of mind. Ever feel like your mind is constantly jumping from one thought to another, like a restless monkey swinging from branch to branch? You're not alone. In today's world, where distractions are endless, mental clarity has become a rare skill. But here's the truth: clarity isn't something you find, it's something you cultivate. And one of the most powerful ways to do that: meditating with mandalas. For centuries, Buddhist monks have used mandalas as meditation tools, not just for their beauty, but for their ability to pull the mind into deep focus. The intricate patterns, the repetitive geometry, the way everything leads back to the center. It's designed to anchor your attention, training your mind to resist distractions. The more you focus on the mandala, the more you silence the noise. Try this. Next time your thoughts feel scattered, stare at a mandala. Observe its patterns. Follow its symmetry with your eyes. Breathe in deeply as you trace its curves. Exhale slowly as you let go of cluttered thoughts. With every breath, your mind becomes still. You're no longer lost in a storm of thoughts. You're centered, present, in control. And if you want to take this further, incorporate active mandala meditation into your routine. Set aside 10 minutes a day. Whether you color a mandala, draw one, or simply gaze at it, use it as a tool to reset your mind. This practice isn't just about relaxation. It sharpens focus, boosts creativity, and enhances problem solving. A clear mind sees solutions where others see obstacles. But what if, instead of just looking at a mandala, you could create your own? What if the very act of drawing could reveal deeper insights about yourself? That's exactly what the next lesson is about. Lesson 4. Creating your own mandala, expression and self-discovery. There's something deeply personal about creating a mandala. Unlike just observing one, when you draw a mandala, you're no longer a passive participant. You're shaping something from within. It's not just an art form. It's a self-reflection tool, a way to uncover emotions, desires, and thoughts that might be buried under the surface. Think about it. What would your mandala look like if you sketched one right now? Would the lines be rigid or free-flowing? Would the shapes be structured or chaotic? Would the colors be bold or soft? Every choice reveals a piece of your inner world. Tibetan monks spend hours, sometimes days, crafting intricate mandalas, but not for the final product, for the process. The act of creation itself is where the magic happens. So, how do you use this in your own life? Try this exercise. Start with a blank page. Draw a small circle in the center. This represents your core, your focus. Add layers outward, step by step. Shapes, patterns, symbols, whatever feels natural. Each layer can symbolize a part of your life, your relationships, your goals, your mindset. Observe what you create. What stands out? Does it feel balanced? Does it reflect where you are mentally and emotionally? This isn't about artistic skill. It's about self-awareness. The very process of designing a mandala forces you to slow down, to listen to yourself, to connect with something deeper. And here's the best part. Whenever life feels overwhelming, you can always return to the practice. Your mandala becomes a map, a reflection of your inner journey. But here's the paradox. If a mandala represents you, what happens when you have to destroy it? That's where the real test begins. Lesson 5. The cycle of impermanence, the lesson of sand mandalas. Imagine spending days, sometimes weeks, meticulously crafting an intricate mandala with the finest grains of colored sand. Every detail is perfect, every pattern carefully placed. Then, the moment it's finished, it's destroyed. Swept away in a matter of seconds. Gone. Seems absurd, right? Why put in so much effort just to erase it? But here's the thing, that's the point. Tibetan monks create sand mandalas as a profound reminder of one of Buddhism's greatest truths, impermanence. Nothing lasts. Not your successes, not your failures, not your emotions, not even you. The world around you is constantly changing, whether you accept it or not. And the more you cling to what's temporary, the more you suffer. Think about your own life. How often do you hold on to things that are meant to pass? A job you've outgrown, a relationship that no longer serves you, a version of yourself that no longer fits. The pain doesn't come from change, it comes from resistance. So, how do you apply this lesson? Practice letting go. The next time something doesn't go your way, instead of fighting it, ask yourself, what if this is just part of the cycle? Embrace endings. When a chapter closes, whether it's a project, a phase of life, or even just a tough day, acknowledge it. Release it. Move forward. Create, then release. Make something with love, whether it's art, a goal, or even an idea, then detach from the outcome. Just like the monks dismantle their mandalas, you must learn to release what no longer serves you. Because when you do, you create space for something new. And the colors of your next mandala might just surprise you. Speaking of color, did you know that the hues of a mandala actually hold meaning? And they might just be influencing your emotions more than you realize. Lesson 6. Colors and symbolism. Choosing the right mandala for your life. Colors aren't just decoration, they're communication. Every hue in a mandala carries meaning, shaping the energy it radiates. Buddhist monks don't randomly pick shades when creating their intricate designs. They choose colors with intention, each representing a different state of mind or a spiritual quality. And whether you realize it or not, colors are already shaping your emotions and focus every day. Ever noticed how certain places make you feel calm while others feel overwhelming? That's color psychology at work. Blue and green naturally soothe the mind. Red ignites energy. Yellow sparks creativity. The same applies to mandalas. Their colors influence the way they affect you. Here's a quick guide. Blue, inner peace, healing, and clarity. Great for stress relief and meditation. Red, strength, passion, and action. Use when you need motivation. Yellow, learning, focus, and joy. Ideal for creativity and intellectual growth. Green, harmony, renewal and balance. Helps when seeking emotional stability. White, purity, truth, and new beginnings. Used in spiritual awakening. Black, deep transformation, breaking old patterns and protection. Now, how can you use this? Simple. Surround yourself with the colors you need most. If you're struggling with stress, keep a blue or green mandala in your workspace. If you need a boost in confidence, red and gold are your allies. Even something as small as setting a color mandala as your phone wallpaper can subtly shift your mindset. The key is conscious exposure. When you choose the colors in your environment deliberately, you take control of the energy around you. And when your surroundings align with your goals, progress becomes effortless. But a mandala's power isn't just about looking at it. Where you place it matters just as much. Lesson 7. Mandalas in your environment, creating spaces of peace and positive energy. Ever walked into a room and instantly felt at ease? Or on the flip side, stepped into a space that made you feel drained without knowing why? That's not just a coincidence. It's the energy of the environment at work. And believe it or not, mandalas can be used to shift that energy in powerful ways. In many Buddhist temples, mandalas are placed strategically to enhance harmony, focus, and spiritual growth. They're not just decorative, they're tools for transformation. When positioned with intention, a mandala can turn any space into a sanctuary, a place where your mind naturally relaxes and regains balance. Here's how you can bring that same effect into your own space. For focus and clarity, place a mandala near your workspace, using colors like yellow or blue to enhance concentration. For peace and relaxation, keep one in your bedroom. Soft greens or whites work best to promote calmness. For emotional balance, a mandala in your living room can help set a grounded, positive atmosphere for both you and your guests. For spiritual connection, hang one in your meditation or prayer space, reinforcing mindfulness and intention. But here's the catch, your space reflects your mind. If your environment is cluttered, chaotic, or stressful, your thoughts will be too. That's why simply adding a mandala isn't enough. Pair it with conscious decluttering. Remove things that drain your energy. Keep only what supports your well-being. Let your space breathe. Because when your surroundings are aligned with your inner world, everything starts to flow naturally. And speaking of flow, there's an even deeper way to use mandalas, not just for balance, but for healing and self-care. Lesson 8. Mandalas as tools for healing and self-care. Healing isn't just about the body, it's about the mind and spirit too. And one of the most overlooked ways to cultivate deep emotional and mental healing is through mandalas. They aren't just symbols, they're medicine for the soul. For centuries, Buddhist monks have used mandalas in rituals of transformation, helping people release grief, anxiety, and inner turmoil. But you don't need a temple or a sacred ceremony to tap into their power. You can use them in everyday self-care. Feeling overwhelmed? Try this. Breathe with a mandala. Stare at the center of one while inhaling deeply, then slowly follow the patterns outward as you exhale. Let your mind expand with a design. Use mandalas in journaling. Draw a simple mandala, then write down what each layer represents for you. Your struggles, your growth, your intentions. This turns it into a powerful self-reflection tool. Color for calmness. Ever noticed how coloring books for adults have mandalas? That's because repetitive patterns naturally soothe the brain, reducing stress and promoting a meditative state. And the science backs it up. Studies show that focusing on circular, symmetrical designs can lower anxiety, improve mood, and enhance problem-solving skills. This is why many therapists encourage patients to work with mandalas. It helps externalize emotions in a way words sometimes can't. But here's the deeper truth. Self-care isn't just about healing, it's about transformation. And that's exactly what mandalas have been guiding people toward for centuries. They don't just help you feel better in the moment, they help you evolve. Because healing is only the first step. Real growth happens when you start using that newfound clarity to shape your life. And that's where the final, most profound lesson of mandalas comes in. Lesson 9. The mandala as a spiritual journey. If you look closely, you'll notice something interesting about mandalas. They always have a center. No matter how intricate or complex the patterns are, everything flows from and back to that core. And this is no accident. Mandalas mirror the spiritual journey, guiding us back to the most important question of all: who are you at your core? In Buddhism, walking the path of a mandala, whether in meditation or in physical labyrinths, is a symbol of returning to the self, to wisdom, to truth. The outer layers represent the noise of the world, the distractions, the ego, the fleeting desires. But as you move inward, layer by layer, you begin to strip away illusions. What remains is clarity. This is why monks don't just look at mandalas. They walk them, meditate with them, and become them. It's a journey inward, a reminder that no matter how lost you feel in life, your center is always there, waiting for you to return. So how do you bring this into your daily life? Start seeing challenges as part of the path. Every struggle, every setback is just another layer in your mandala, leading you closer to understanding. Take moments to pause and recenter. Whether through meditation, reflection, or simple mindfulness, remember that your inner peace isn't gone. It's just buried beneath distractions. Live intentionally. Just as a mandala is crafted with purpose, shape your life with the same care. Let go of what no longer serves you and align with what truly matters. And here's the most powerful truth of all. This journey never really ends. Every step you take, every experience you have, simply adds to the ever-growing mandala of your life. But to truly live in harmony, there's one final secret to master: the ability to balance it all. And that's exactly what the last lesson will uncover. Lesson 10. The mandala and the middle path. Balance. That's the ultimate lesson of the mandala. Every pattern, every curve, every layer, it's all about harmony, about finding the perfect equilibrium between chaos and order, between action and stillness, between holding on and letting go. And if that sounds familiar, it's because this principle sits at the very heart of Buddhist philosophy, the middle path. Buddha taught that true peace doesn't come from extremes. It doesn't come from chasing pleasure endlessly, nor does it come from rejecting the world entirely. It comes from walking the space in between. That's exactly what a mandala teaches: how to move through life without attachment, yet with full presence. Think about your own life. Where do you lean too far in one direction? Are you too rigid, over-planning every move, afraid to let life unfold naturally? Or are you too scattered, jumping from one thing to another without a clear center? The mandala reminds us there's always a center to return to. It's the still point in the chaos, the calm amidst movement. It's knowing when to act and when to be still, when to push forward and when to surrender. So, how do you embody this? Balance your mind. Meditation, reflection, and conscious choices. Make space for stillness in your daily life. Balance your actions. Don't get lost in over-effort, but don't fall into complacency either. Take purposeful steps forward. Balance your emotions. Recognize that joy and suffering, success and failure are all temporary. Don't cling. Don't resist. Just observe. Because when you master this balance, something incredible happens. You start flowing with life instead of fighting against it. You stop seeking control and start trusting the process. And that's when real peace begins. And speaking of real peace, now that you've uncovered the wisdom behind mandalas, it's time to take this knowledge and turn it into something real. something you can use to transform your everyday life. Let's bring it all together. You've just uncovered the hidden power of mandalas, not as mere designs, but as tools for transformation. But here's the real question. What will you do with this knowledge? Will you just move on to the next video? Or will you start applying these lessons to master your own mind? Because here's the truth, everything in life follows patterns. Your thoughts, your habits, your emotions. The difference between feeling lost and feeling in control is knowing how to reshape those patterns. So, what's your next step? Will you start using mandalas for meditation, even just 5 minutes a day? Will you create your own mandala and see what it reveals about your mind? Will you finally learn to let go of what no longer serves you, just like the monks erased their sand mandalas? Comment below and tell me which of these lessons resonated with you the most. I want to know how you plan to bring this ancient wisdom into your life. And if you're serious about diving deeper, I've got something for you. The book The Theory and Practice of the Mandala by Giuseppe Tucci is a must-read for understanding the true depth of this practice. You can get it super cheap on Amazon. I've left the link in the first pinned comment. Trust me, if you like what you learned today, this book will take your understanding to a whole new level. If this video helped you, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. You don't want to miss what's coming next. And speaking of next, click on the card right here to keep learning. There's so much more to discover. Thanks for watching, and remember, master the circle, master yourself. See you in the next one.